Hello Taurus, welcome to your September 2019 reading. Thanks for joining me. My name is Michelle and this is for Sun, Moon and Rising signs. Let's take a look at your oracles. Firstly, from the fairy tale oracle, you have drawn the card of the Wild Swans. Now the Wild Swans was a fairy tale. It is about a young girl whose brothers were enchanted into the form of swans. And she was told that the only way that she could remove this enchantment was to weave cloaks made of stinging nettle flax and put them over these swans to turn them back into human form. Now, this was a very painful experience because the stinging nettles were, of course, they hurt her hands and they hurt her feet because where she had to get them from, she walked with bare feet. So the energy is around this as one of being dedicated, single-minded, tenacious, suffering through pain to get results. And also there's a feeling here of people around you not understanding this, because I get this girl here, part of it was she wasn't allowed to speak at all while she was weaving these cloaks. So people around her didn't trust her, because they wondered why she was making these sacrifices and she couldn't tell them about it, why she was doing this. They would have understood if she could tell them, but there's an energy here, Taurus, of suffering through pain and perhaps people around you not understanding why do this. But it's about caring for family, caring for loved ones. Now, the energy around the other person here, of course this can swap out, it can be vice versa, is the Shadow Queen. It's coming up as a challenge from the wisdom of the hidden realms. It's difficult as a challenge. It speaks of acquiring knowledge, insecurity and manipulation. So there's a feeling here of someone who has been taught that manipulating others rather than being direct is the way to get their needs met. The Shadow Queen reminds you that manipulation in any form is certainly not the best method of getting what you want. So it could be you, Taurus, of course, if you're cross-watching here for a Taurus, or it could be someone around you, you're being affected by someone else's wounded self, something that needs to come into the light here. It could be you that's being manipulated, Taurus. Whatever the case, it's time to take a fearless personal inventory and observe what part you play in dramas and disasters in your life. Yeah, there is great value and strength in facing a shadow self in the realm of the Shadow Queen, facing up to that part of you, perhaps yourself that you don't like, or this other person needs to face up to that part of themselves that they really don't like about themselves. Bring something into the light, any kind of hidden agendas, anything about character flaws, any kind of wounded energy, wounded inner child kind of feeling that I'm getting around this. Now above this, from the oracle, the Moon Goddess oracle, we have the card of the new moon, and it speaks, of course, of beginnings. Whenever we speak of new moons, we speak of it being a good time to have a fresh start, an opportunity to start over. It's about setting an intention. And I do feel here that you're being gifted with a new beginning, a fresh start. Anything that is being identified as no longer needed needs to be released so that you can go about renewing your life here. A new chance. Now, it could be a fresh start in a relationship, a new love, intentions, as I was speaking about before, could be better health, a business, the start of a new project. This new moon energy will be the time to set these intentions, to start over, to have a new beginning, to start again. So let's see where this goes here, Taurus. It's either you or someone around you. Now I'll be using the Rider-Waite deck for your energy. For the other person, I'll be using the Tarot de Nuit We've got the Page of Pentacles at the bottom. So again, speaking of that fresh start, a lot of potential for growth. Let's see what you've brought to this in the past, Taurus. We've got the Hierophant. Okay, let me see. The other person has brought in the past the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. So, Taurus, this is, of course, your card. It's a very spiritual card. It's also number 5, so it does have an element of conflict around it, difficulty. A time of growth, it's only really through the times that are difficult, the times that challenge us, Taurus, that we do grow as human beings. And I get the essence here, in the recent past, you've been doing some work on yourself. Perhaps you've had an advisor for some of you, but I'm picking up more so of work that you've done yourself. It could be reading books, tarot, for instance, studying more kind of spiritual aspects. Yeah, the Four of Swords. It's something that you've taken a break to do here, to gain more clarity about who you are as a person, who you are authentically. What are your values? What are your beliefs? So it's quite deep energy here, Taurus. And I admire you for your work. Goodness, if I can speak. So beautiful energy there. You haven't, whatever it was that you were doing in the past, I feel that you haven't been engaging in that in the recent past because you're working on healing yourself, getting yourself through a difficult time, perhaps with the help of a spiritual guide as well. Now, the other person has the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, so I do feel that they have had their eye on building something with you. Could be a relationship. Let's see. Temperance. So they've had patience. They have, it may be the other person here that others are looking in at, thinking, well, why is that person kind of waiting for this Taurus to come around here? That's what I'm picking up. I feel like it's the other person here that may have been patient in waiting for this opportunity to arise. There's a feeling here of not being able to build on potential in the past. Now, where you currently stand, Taurus, let's take a look. You've got the Eight of Cups in the reverse, okay, and the Three of Cups. So it seems to me that you are returning after spending some time perhaps alone, a spiritual retreat. Whatever this is here, could have just been you spending some time alone, thinking about things. You're coming back around here and starting to enjoy life again. More social. This is more inner work here, spending time by yourself, and now you are wanting to get yourself back out there and start enjoying social occasions again, friends, family. The other person, where they currently stand, they have the Empress in the upright. Okay, so they are, I get this as a card of beauty, of grace. They seem to be in a good position, focused on nurturing themselves, nurturing others as well, but I get more of a focus within, on themselves here. It's good energy. It may be someone that you're coming back to here, Taurus, re-engaging with. Let's see where you hope to stand with this in the future. We've got the Nine of Cups. Okay, I'm going to get one more. And the Six of Wands. Okay. Yeah, I get this as happiness, contentment, enjoying life, having people around you that enjoy you. I have to say I get a little bit of validation energy around this. It's like you've spent time figuring things out about yourself, and now you're returning to friends and they're celebrating you. They're celebrating your victory. They're saying, yeah, good on you. You know, you've done really well here. Good for you. So that's good energy. That's good energy. Getting through something quite difficult, and you're being rewarded for your efforts. It's paid off. At least that's where you hope to be. That's where you hope to be. Okay, now let's take a look at the other person, where they hope to stand with this in the future. The Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so yes, they're looking at something that is long-term, stable, secure. They're looking at the long haul, something that is going to be very much that solid foundation that seems to have been missed here in the past. Now, how you're viewing this person, Taurus, let's take a look. Got the Tower in reverse and the Six of Cups in reverse. Okay. I get it as avoiding something from the past issues. You may see this person as someone who is not wanting to look at, I'm getting it's not wanting to look at past issues. It's like having their head in the sand, not learning from mistakes of the past, not going through that enlightenment. I feel that you have. But you're seeing this other person as not going through that. But they need to. It's something that they need to look at in their past. Something that has made them who they are. Okay, so you're able to look at this person a little bit differently now and say, okay, well, that's why that person is why they are. And I feel it's because of this spiritual work that you've done here in the past. Let's take a look at how they're viewing you here, Taurus. Nine of Swords in reverse. Okay. So with this one here, again, I get healing energy coming out of that dark night of the soul. So they see you as someone who is evolving, learning, healing, and leaving any kind of past difficulties, pain in the past. So the very things that they need to do is something that they see you as either doing now or that you've already done it, Taurus. Yeah, I feel that you've been through that dark night of the soul energy. You've learned from it. You're coming out of it. This other person, though, may see you as someone who can help them through their difficulties. Let's take a look at doubts and fears here for Taurus. The Five of Swords. Okay. Difficult energy. And with the King of Cups in reverse, even more difficult energy. So there is some significant fear associated with manipulation, somebody taking advantage emotionally. Somebody taking advantage emotionally is the fear. Yeah, you definitely don't want that. I get it as the other person. I don't feel it is you, Taurus. I get you see them as someone who manipulates in order to win. They don't look at their past. They don't look at why they've gotten themselves into the situation that they're in. They go around with blinders on. And you know what this person is. You know them from way back, I feel. So you know that this person has the capacity to be very hurtful, to hurt with their words, their actions too. I get that. Let's see. The doubts and fears for you, Taurus. Judgment. Okay. Yeah, I do feel that you're being called upon here to wake up. Okay. Yeah, and I get that this person is fearful of being judged, and that you will judge them as not being worthy, and that you will leave them behind. I get this figure as you here, Taurus, coming out of this darker energy, stepping through this gateway into that more lighter, that happier place there with the sun shining there in the background, the garden. This is energy of you hearing this higher calling, that higher vibrational calling that I was speaking about here in this past energy, that you were working on healing yourself by more spiritual kind of nature, whereas that's something that in the past you wouldn't have done. It's helped you. It has helped you grow. It has helped you heal. And this person is now fearful that you've moved on and that they can't catch up to you here, Taurus. Now let's look at your challenge. The Ten of Swords and the High Priestess in reverse. You're putting an end to someone around you who seems to have, you know that they have some kind of, they're manipulative, they have some kind of secret agenda here. Very secretive type of person. You're wanting to move away from that, to find happiness, to find contentment, to be celebrated for that. You don't want to go back to a situation here that you know is not going to be good for you. I think that you've moved on from this, Taurus, and your challenge is to completely end it, to put finality to this and say, look, no more. I'm not doing this anymore. Of course, this can be vice versa, so keep that in mind. Taurus, the challenge for the other person, the Page of Swords in reverse. So hearing some bad news, I do think that this is you saying to this person, no, I'm sorry, but no, I've moved on from this. I don't want to go back to it. Yeah, there's a missed opportunity in the past, and now I get that they are I get perhaps they're using their beauty here. There's an element around them of arrogance. I do get a little of arrogance around them. Yeah, arrogant energy, but it's really insecurity manifesting as arrogance. Okay, let's have a look at the outcome here for you, Taurus. We'll get one card. The King of Wands in reverse. All right. Okay, well, it could be this person, Taurus, that you're dealing with, King of Wands in reverse. They could be I get them as either a water or fire sign energy here. But they're negatively aspected for you, which tells me that they're not the right person for you to be seeing. And I do think that this person's made a return, or you've made a return into their life, but they're still the same. They're still up to their old tricks. There is an arrogance around this individual. I get propensity for anger as well. And emotional turmoil. The outcome for the other person, we have the Four of Swords in the reverse. So there's something here that they need to look at within themselves, but they're not doing it. I get that they're distracting themselves by doing everything other than what they need to be doing, which is looking within, having that period where they do that fierce self-inventory and decide what parts of themselves they need to keep and what they need to leave behind so that they can move on. They're very afraid that you've already done that and that you've moved on. I feel that you have, Taurus, but we'll see where this goes in part 2. I hope that you join me. You know, this card of the wild swans with this tenacity, dedication, working through pain. But there's only so much of that you can do. How much pain can you endure for a loved one? Or someone that, it could be a friend, a family member, an ex. And with the Shadow Queen in reverse, this person has, they can be quite manipulative. They need to do some work on themselves, some shadow work. They need to do that self-inventory, but they're not doing that. They may want some kind of new beginning with you, but I get that you have a chance to do things a different way than what you've done in the past. You know, the new moon is about letting go. You know, I see this also as letting go of the things that are no longer of use to you in your life. Moving on. So we'll see where this goes in part 2, Taurus. I hope that you join me there. The link will be below in the descriptions box, and that will be available on my Vimeo channel. It'll be about another 30 to 40 minute reading. I'll be clarifying everything on the table, pulling out some, I'll also be pulling out some oracles as well to see where this goes in the future. So Taurus, please join me in part 2 if this is resonating. If you would like a personal reading, you can email me, gypsyinsights@gmail.com. I'll see you in part 2, or I will see you very soon. Bye for now, Taurus. Please take care.